Hey, it's Mike from Victory Force Options Training here. I'm inviting you to come along as I start this new project or adventure. Maybe project isn't the right word to describe what I'm trying to do here. Maybe we should call it an experiment. An experiment in stepping outside of my comfort zone and a little bit of social accountability. If you're watching this, you're part of my accountability check. Let's see how it goes. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure what I'm hoping to accomplish with this new experiment. I guess what I'm hoping for is to impose some new structure and some new discipline around habits of self-reflection, writing, and accountability. So far for me, 2019 has been a period of refocusing, re-energizing, and reorganizing. Near the end of 2018, I went through a period where I was trying to develop some new habits around journaling, planning, and goal setting. I've been doing pretty well with the new habits, but not so much with progress towards established goals. Two of my current goals are specifically related to writing. The first is to regularly commit to sitting down and engaging in the writing process. This is a broad goal aimed at getting back into the habit and developing new content. That content might range from book reviews to articles to original essays or maybe even creative or fictional pieces. The second goal is more specific, to finally do the long overdue and necessary revisions to my 2008 book, Rising Through the Ranks, Leadership Tools and Techniques for Law Enforcement, and to start working on the follow-up focused on mid-level management and command. This project is my attempt to prime the pump and start making progress towards those two goals. I have no idea how this is going to progress. Let me tell you what I'm envisioning so far. I see this as a bi-weekly blog or video post, and the content will vary from entry to entry. Typical topics will probably include my current professional reading, any other reading that I might be engaged in, any leadership lessons or projects that I'm working on, or any other learning opportunities that have come my way. I might also include excerpts or samples from any writing that I've done since the previous post, and any fun fitness stuff that I might have found or engaged in since the prior entry. Hopefully, by placing myself in the position of having to produce new content every other week, I can impose some self-discipline and increase accountability on my writing goals. On top of that, this blog will fulfill another element of my journaling habit and serve as documentation of this journey. I invite you to come along with me. Hopefully, we'll both learn something. While I was assigned as a Drug Enforcement Administration Leadership Fellow in 2003, I started a program of daily professional reading. There was no outline or requirement for what I read. It was simply a commitment to a short period of time each day where I would spend some time reading from some professional development text. I stuck to that program throughout my assignment with the DEA and continued with it for quite a while after I returned home in 2004. I fell out of the habit many years ago. In December of 2017, based on a variety of changes that occurred in my professional life, I decided to get back into my professional reading process. When I did, I modified it slightly to reflect lessons learned in the meantime and changes in my life. For the past year plus, I've engaged in pro reading on most weekday mornings that I'm not traveling, and on a few that I am. I do my pro reading with my first cup of coffee, either as soon as I wake up or after my morning exercise. Generally, my pro reading consists of two books. The first is a professional development text with a focus on some aspect of leadership, law enforcement, or personal development. In the past year, I've read 15 books on a wide variety of topics, ranging from leadership to execution to transcendental meditation to history. I won't name all of the topics here. That's potential future content. The second book is the Holy Bible. After I read my professional text for 15 to 20 minutes, I spend the rest of the half hour reading a passage from the Gospel. Some mornings, my professional reading includes a third book. That depends on what my recent pro reading may have prompted in my curiosity or memory. Most recently, this consisted of the 5 Great Dialogues by Plato. Currently, my morning pro reading has 3 books in the rotation. The first is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. I'm a big fan of John Maxwell. I've read and listened to a wide selection of his books and have used them as text and source material in a variety of leadership development programs. This one is striking a chord. I'm through Chapter 15, the Law of Victory. I like all of the laws so far, but I particularly like the Law of Victory. Victorious leaders possess an unwillingness to accept defeat. The alternative to winning is totally unacceptable to them. For my gospel reading this morning, I started on the book of Ezekiel. I only got a short way into it because I had an appointment. The third book in today's rotation is Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. This came off of the shelf recently because of a science fiction book that I was reading. In the science fiction book, the hero is fond of quoting and citing poetry. In one passage, he quotes Song of Myself. I vaguely recognized the work, and so I dusted off my copy from my literature studies and started at the beginning. For the past several months, I have been listening to the Jocko podcast on a regular basis. This program is hosted by Lieutenant Commander Jocko Willink. Lieutenant Commander Willink, together with his teammate and partner, Lieutenant Commander Leif Babin, are the authors of Extreme Ownership and The Dichotomy of Leadership. Together, they are also the founders and the principal officers in Echelon Front, their leadership development and training company. Echelon Front offers single-day and multi-day seminars called the Roll Call and the Muster, in which they emphasize their leadership lessons from the Battle of Ramadi. I haven't been able to arrange to attend one of these, although I'd really like to. A couple of weeks ago, Lieutenant Commander Willink announced that Echelon Front was rolling out a new online training option, EF Online. This online option is based on the content from their in-person seminars. They discuss the lessons that they learned in the Battle of Ramadi, translate them into basic leadership principles, and then apply those leadership principles to business and other leadership challenges. When I heard about EF Online, I decided to treat myself, and I registered for an individual account. So far, I've completed the 5 basic modules. The modules are interactive and loaded with video and computer-generated content. I've really enjoyed them. Most of the material is taken directly from Extreme Ownership and the Dichotomy of Leadership, so much of it was a review or a reinforcement rather than new material. However, the interactive portions do require applying the lessons to scenarios, so that was new and it was a stretch. I've really enjoyed the program. The next month is going to be really busy with outside leadership projects. Later this week, I'll be kicking off the second iteration of the local Leadership Development Academy that I founded for city employees last year. Last year's pilot project was based off a similar program that I've been associated with the Gainesville Police Department in Gainesville, Florida for the past several years. The pilot had nearly a dozen participants from an assortment of city departments and was very successful. This year's version aims to build off that success. In addition to city employees, the new class will include representatives from the school district as well. I'm really looking forward to working with this group. In a few more weeks, I'll be headed back to Gainesville to begin working with my 4th cohort of the Gainesville Police Department supervisors in their Leadership Development Academy. This has been an amazing and rewarding process. I've had the opportunity to work with each of the previous 3 cohorts for 2 entire days during their program. Historically, I'm with them for one of their first days, and then again for their last full day of instruction. I'll meet with the new group in March. GPD has been through a rough patch. This is going to be an interesting but difficult trip. I'm hoping that I can be useful. I needed to mix up my fitness routine after the holidays. I am loving my renewed commitment to jiu-jitsu, and I'm having a blast with it. However, after the first of the year, I needed a new challenge. The weather here in Western Massachusetts has not been lending itself to low-impact outdoor activities like snowshoeing and hiking. I've been doing a little bit of research on the sport of rucking, which is hiking with a weighted backpack, so I decided to try that. I invested in a new lean pack and a little bit of weight. I've only had the opportunity to try it once so far, but it was a full body blast that got both my heart rate and my respiration up. I like it. I'll definitely be doing some more of that. So I'm actually recording this video several days after I completed writing the content that I'm using to try to fill the video and I will post in the blog. As a result, the timeline is not going to match up exactly when I talk about this Friday and last Friday and the Friday before that. Today is Sunday the 17th. The material was written on Thursday the 14th, and it pretty much references the 2 weeks leading into that. So, my editor-in-chief, lead content officer, and beautiful bride, the lovely Christina, proofread the written content for the blog, and she had some creative criticism to offer. Number 1, the length. This is too long for a blog post. Noted. This introduction required a lot of background and setup. I'll keep future blogs to the short side. Number 2, I should focus some attention on some of the gear that I incorporate into my workouts and training. I like that. More focus on gears and toys. Check. Number 3, this blog makes me seem like an aesthetic, my word, not hers, monk, who is never having any fun. Absolutely not true. So she suggested I include something personal. Okay, I can do that. So the last section of each post will be fun stuff that I've done or we've done in the previous couple of weeks. That starts here. Trying to recall the last couple of weeks was challenging, but here it goes. A couple of weeks ago, we decided that the weather wasn't cooperating. It was frigid cold here in Berkshire County, and it would be a good time for us to go catch a movie. So we went and we saw The Green Book at our local downtown theater, the Beacon Cinema. I love the Beacon Cinema. If you're from Berkshire County and you haven't been there to see a movie, by all means, go check it out. And then the second Friday, 2 Fridays ago, we got to go see the grand opening of the new exhibit at the Berkshire Museum, Leonardo da Vinci, Machines in Motion. This is an awesome exhibit. This was an amazing evening. Great exhibit, great time with a lot of great people. Unfortunately, it was also a bittersweet farewell to a beloved museum staffer who was moving on to something new. But that's great. Leonardo, Machines in Motion. If you're in Western Mass, Eastern New York, Northern Connecticut, Southern Vermont, if you can get to the Berkshires, get to the Berkshires, bring your kids. You get to play with the machines that are based on the designs of Leonardo da Vinci. Don't miss this. Wednesday night, date night, we had a beautiful night out for our celebration of Valentine's Day. Great times at a couple of new venues, new local establishments. Started with a drink at the Lantern and then dinner at Proprietor's Lodge. Recommend them both. So much fun. So, check those places out as well. That's it for my first attempt and my introduction to this blog. So until next time, be safe, keep the faith, do good work. 1 asterisk.